Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday morning. There's no Thursday night football game. There's no Friday NFL football game. We do have the college championship game. And when you look at that game, you think, well, Jim Harbaugh, with all his experience, and he has a lot of it, and it's all quality experience. He's done a lot in football, and it's all been, you may not like the guy. There's something about his personality people don't like. I like him. But he knows how to win. And physically, could he take over this game? And Washington doesn't always play a team like Michigan. And we saw at the end of the game how, and I have to say this, I had Alabama and I lost. I thought I had the right side when they were up by 20-13 late. I thought I had the right side, but Harbaugh just outcoached Saban. I'm not saying Saban's done. He's he knows football, and he's got a lot of talent, but at the end of that game, Harbaugh outcoached him. And that very well may happen in this game as well. However, if Pennick stays upright, and that's Harbaugh was, he was actually an NFL quarterback, so he knows what the hell he's doing. And he did lead San Francisco, so he knows what the hell he's doing at the highest level. There's a lot of edges here for Michigan. However, that quarterback issue, if he stays upright, he's going to be difficult to handle because Michigan doesn't see people like him. So that's the real question. And the line going up the way it is, I have to be on Washington. It's a must EV positive expectation play. So that's where I'm at. In the pros, now some people are going to say this is preseason. Well, it's not preseason because, first of all, the rosters aren't 105 people. This is down to the nitty gritty here. Other than Cleveland and other people bringing in quarterbacks to play. And by the way, Cleveland's resting everyone. Cincinnati is playing out the strength. They're not going anywhere. Line open 2 up to 7. Cincinnati's the right side. And if you're in a place where you can tease it down, I'd tease it down. I laid a 4. Because I kind of knew what Cleveland was going to do. So Cincinnati's the right side. They have, now you talk about what do they have to play for? Jobs. Not everybody's going to be an NFL football player. There's only 32 teams in this league, unless you play over in Europe or Canada or something like that. They have families. Some of these are young men. Some of these are middle-aged men. Some of them, like, Brady was a little bit older. But they're all playing for jobs, and this is what they've done since they're kids. So they don't want to lose their jobs. So they're going to play for themselves, their contracts, their stability in the league. So don't listen to all that bullshit. They're playing for draft choices. There's not a player, other than is on a 10 or 15-year contract, that's playing for a draft choice because that draft choice is going to take their job. Come on. Give me a break. Anyway, Pittsburgh's 4 at Baltimore. Baltimore's a dangerous, dangerous team. They're better than Pittsburgh. Motivation, it's all Pittsburgh. The line goes from Baltimore 2 to Pittsburgh 4. That's too many. I'm not playing it. By the way, the weather, there are some bad weather games that you have to keep your eye on. And because it's Thursday and these games are Saturday, Sunday, I'm not going to get strung out like I did a couple weeks ago and I got blasted. Bad weather reports cost me money. Houston, Indianapolis, both these teams have something to play for. The game went from Indianapolis 1.5 up to Houston 1. Tough game. You have to love the story of Houston this year. The rookie quarterback playing great, missed a couple games, got a concussion. He got Steichen, the head coach at Indianapolis, who's tough game. Can't call it. Atlanta, New Orleans, Garbage clubs. The Atlanta coach is probably gone, and he should be. Made a lot of bad choices. Not in love with New Orleans, but they took advantage of the Bucks last weekend. I have a feeling that Tampa Bay knew. I mean, they didn't play well at all, and New Orleans is not as good as they looked on that field last week. But Tampa Bay knew that all they had to do was win the next game, and they were going to win the division. How'd that play on your head? Maybe. A lot of guessing going on. This is why it's a soft week. The Jets at New England, Belichick's probably his last game. I look for the New England to put up an effort. I don't know that everybody likes Bill Belichick, but we know who he is and what he's accomplished, and God bless him. He's had a hell of a career. Jets are a mess. I would lean to New England here. Jacksonville at Tennessee. We don't know about Lawrence. Game went from 3.5 to 5.5. Tennessee's a mess. Vrabel might end up being the head coach at New England if the rumors are right. And it's just a rumor. If Bill leaves, somebody's got to take over. And Vrabel's a good coach. Minnesota at Detroit. I don't know what the hell Minnesota was doing last week. It's almost like they played not to win. Putting in Hall at the quarterback position in a game that was meaningful was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And Detroit, they got screwed, sort of. They outplayed Dallas in a lot of ways. Not every way, but a lot of ways. I like Detroit. I think Detroit really has something going on. They're very inexperienced in the playoffs. That might catch up to them. Campbell is a warrior. The players like him. He is one of them, and that makes a difference. I don't know what to do with that game. Tampa at Carolina, I think Tampa wins this game. I think they win it. I think they cover it. Carolina is dangerous because even though they have a wacko, very wealthy, very smart owner that is a little bit out of control and needs to be reined in, but there's nobody going to question his competitiveness and his intelligence. He has that. But because he's a 20 billionaire or a 50 billionaire or whatever he is, he's used to getting his own way. That may not work in a league full of very wealthy owners. By the way, the rumor is that the owner of the Rams, and this is off the cuff here, and I don't know if this is true, but it's kind of amazing. The owner of the Rams has more money than all other 31 owners combined? Is that possible? Wow. Where the hell did that come from? Dallas, Washington. Dallas, of course, wants to win. They have everything to win for. But 13, Washington's a mess. But 13, it's hard to lay points like that. San Francisco and the Rams, they're both in. The Rams are going to probably start Wentz. San Francisco's going to start Donald. So they're sitting a lot of players. But San Francisco's head coach is very likely to play some, if not all, except for Purdy and McCaffrey, the first half or the first quarter or something like that. So if I was going to bet this game, I would probably bet San Francisco first quarter, San Francisco first half, and then let it go after that because the Rams aren't playing anybody either. Seattle, Chicago, Green Bay, I skipped a game, Philadelphia Giants. Without a doubt, the Giants are the play here. They got a lot to play for. The head coach had a bad year as coach of the year. Previous year, this was a bad year. But Taylor at quarterback is a big upgrade. I don't know where the DeVito thing came from. That was kind of a great story. But Taylor's much better. Philadelphia, they're going to have to rest players too because even Hurts is not 100%. So there's a lot of resting, and it's difficult handicapping, which is why Well, the reason I'm not doing the show today is I have a head cold. It's a head congestion. I don't know what it is. It's not COVID. It's not the flu. It's just sinuses and stuff, and it bothers the hell out of me. Chicago, Green Bay. Well, big question. Chicago's going to have, do they go for a quarterback or do they stay with their guy, Fields? Fields shows some promise at times. Maybe with the right coaching. God, he's talented. He's a warrior. And then you bring in a kid from college that 90% of them don't work out. I don't know what to say with that. But Green Bay up from 1.5 to 3. Green Bay needs the game. Chicago doesn't. But Chicago is dangerous, and it's a division game, rivalry situation. My dog is now speaking up. There is another one. There's 3 dogs. Seattle and Arizona. Seattle's going to try. They're 3.5 down to 2.5. Arizona is dangerous. Very, 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 very dangerous. And a lot has to happen right for Seattle. I don't see that that's going to happen. Staying away. Probably play it over, but it's a big number. Up to 48, 47.5. That's too much. Denver, they're a mess. They're benched Russell Wilson, so they don't have to pay him $39 million. I don't blame him for that. He's not worth $39 million. At this stage of his career, he's probably not worth $3,900 or $390. But he was great when he was great. I loved him. I loved the guy. I thought he was awesome. Not anymore. We all hit that skid in life, right? Kansas City at the Chargers. What a mess. Kansas City's resting a lot of players. You know, Kelsey, Mahomes. They're both sitting. But the Chargers, man, I don't know. I can't lay 3.5. But if you can find a 3, it wouldn't hurt. But I wouldn't lay 3.5 because you're asking for another score. Buffalo, Miami, very meaningful game. Buffalo's 3. Miami's got a bunch of injuries, but they could win the division here. Big game. This is the best, most competitive, should be the most. Buffalo, everybody says Buffalo. You don't want to play Buffalo in the playoffs because they're so dang. They haven't played that good. I'm not impressed. Yeah, Rosen, their coach is, not their coach, but their quarterback is an awesome football player. No question about it. But the coaching and all, I don't know. I don't get it. This is a team that needs a shot of adrenaline. I wouldn't be laying points at Miami, laying 3. I'd take Miami plus the points. But you're going to have to stay on top of the injuries. Like in everything, you're going to have to stay on top of these injuries. Because not only the injuries, but the resting players and take a look at Cleveland. They signed Driscoll to be the quarterback. He hasn't played all year. Now, can he play? Yeah, he can play. They're all talented football players. But that's what's going on in the league. So for me, hands in the pocket, very few small bets. Next week, the real thing starts, and next week, we start making a lot of money. But that's for me. That's my own personal opinion. I want to thank the guys on the show. Sorry I couldn't be there this week. There was a comment I tried to answer. Greg sent it to me. I tried to answer it. I sent an answer back to Greg. Maybe he can forward it. I couldn't make it work. I couldn't get back to the guy that wrote it. Very intelligent. I don't agree with everything you said, but very intelligent response. And, thank you for that. Take care, guys, and good luck.